Hello everybody, it's Max McAllister here, and today this is part 4 of my series on how I've built a raised bed garden on a virtually unusable hillside. And we've got all of our construction done, our beds are in, fences up to keep our dogs out, and our next step is going to be water, but that'll be another video. But I want to kind of bring you up to speed with things we did along the way here, and show you some of the things that we did wrong and some of the stuff that gave us trouble, kind of things to watch out for, and things that we would have done differently if we had the choice to do them again. Fix my microphone. A project this size, I mentioned earlier on when I talked about tools and such, this impact driver is a game changer for doing this. So if you've never seen one, you can come closer. I'm just going to show you. So all kinds of screws now come with these star head drives that the bit locks into, and you can just start the bit turning. The screws have a special shape to the tip and a cutout in them on the side. So there's a groove cut like a tapping groove. That helps them start really easily. And with this gun, this is a 3.5 inch long screw. That'll take you 5 minutes to do by hand with a ratchet if you were going to do that. And just to show you how cool this is, as far as starting a screw at an angle, it'll just dig and go by itself. So if you have to screw two pieces at an angle, if you can't get around to the backside or something, these are the ticket. So with this one tool saves days and weeks of time and effort. So I wouldn't even attempt this project without an impact driver. Now, let's say, call it the old days, people would nail a deck together. And so the problem with nails is, as you may be aware or may not, is nails back out over time. So they're kind of constantly being squeezed as the wood gets hot and cold and moist and dry. It squeezes the nails up out of the wood. And while a nail joins things together, it really can't put the same kind of pulling pressure of pulling the wood together that a screw does. So you won't find a lot of contractors screw things together because it's just not fast for them. And they use air nailers, pop, 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 with an air gun and a compressor. But if you're doing your own project, it's far better to screw things together. And now with modern convenient tools like this, screwing the deck together is still not as fast as air nailing, but certainly it's your project, and if you're doing it yourself, your goal isn't to cut corners and save money like a contractor might on you. So that tool is a big deal. Screw versus nails, I wanted to talk about that and show you how this worked. A big problem on this job that I figured out halfway too late would have done differently is, if you come down on the ground here. Actually, I'm going to bring these couple of things with me to show you. So why my little clip isn't holding, it's being a pain. So our project here, we had to cut, if you want to come down here and back up a little bit. So we had to cut into our dirt hillside quite a fair amount and shovel the dirt away. So on the other side, when I started, I built all of this upper deck structure and worked my way down the hill. But on the first side I did it, I was standing on the 45-degree hillside while I worked. And I can tell you, my Achilles tendons and my feet were just destroyed after a day's work. So learning from that lesson, we went ahead and shoveled a level patch of ground to stand on while we worked for this whole second half. So I was building, then clearing the level, then building the deck, and then stepping down, and again standing on a 45-degree hillside with my toes up, basically like this, all day while I was working. So my advice, if you're not working on level ground, take a spade, and even if it's a 12-inch patch for you to stand on flat, it'll be a huge saver at the end of the day. The hardware I screwed this together with, again, was with an Impact. They had several types of lag screws you can use. These had a bolt type head on them. I later discovered they have some that are flush mount. Probably would have been prettier, and if I'd have seen them, I would have bought those instead. So something to keep an eye out on is you can get flush mount heads. You do want, when you're doing the big screws that are holding the structure and the weight together, to have something with a washer type head on it, so that when it makes contact with the wood, it won't sink into the wood, but rather it'll draw the two pieces of wood together and put actual torque on the screw, holding the structure really tight and solid. I've had a few people that don't trust or believe that our tubs are gonna hold up over time. So we've got some ideas. We're gonna get some concrete patio stones, and we're gonna swedge them up under, create a flat spot under the center of each tub, put the concrete pad there, and then I got a piece of 6x6, and we'll just cut whatever, depending on that height of each tub needs, and pound it in with a mallet so that it's holding the center of the tub up, and just to give it some extra support over time. We completed it, boxed it in our whole extra area here. And it already worked out that our fence we put up, we used the feature of being able to take it down. So we took it down, just brought wheelbarrows right over, poured them right in here instead of having to shovel over the fence. So this removable fence was actually a great bonus already, even before we planned it. So we've got our couple bird feeders up, 3 bird feeders up. So we'll have a little feathered friends coming and hopefully eating up bugs so they don't eat up our garden. Another tip, so we kind of built as we laid, and if you look over here in this corner, you'll find, so we happen to just have this fence, and we're building up to this fence. So you gotta cut all the wood to what is going to be just a random angle. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can find a piece, just bring a piece of notebook paper or something out, fold it, lay the notebook paper along one edge of a straight board and fold it until you find the precise angle that you need. Or if you're just too lazy to go back inside your house, you can just start cutting with your saw lines until you find the angle and it fits right. Now, once you find the angle that fits right, you can take that piece of wood that you've got that's got the angle, and you can use it as a template over and over. This looks like 45 degrees, but it's not. So this is what fit my fence. So each time once you've got that angle for your fence, it's going to be good for the rest of that project, as long as that's a straight line. So, you can then just scribe a board, or, you'll have your pencil. I just don't have my pencil with me. But, so each time I would lop off a piece of wood, I saved that, and that was my template. The easy way to get one of these boards, measure from your joint where you're taking off from, and you're going to find the longest distance you got to reach, which is going to be the point of the board. So measure this longest possible distance, and whatever that distance is, cut your board square to that point, okay? And then all you have to do is come and lay on the square end of the board, lay your little template up, mark it, cut the board off, and it'll magically drop right into place. And you'll be able to screw it down and keep on going. So this whole box we just added, we had leftover dirt. We had dirt we had to throw over the hillside from clearing out for the decks here. So we had fill dirt to fill the bottom of this. We had all scrap lumber. So this whole section of box is about 2 feet by 8. This 16 square feet of bedding was all free with just stuff we had laying around. And we had some excess of our mix that we got, and we had, half a bag of peat left and a bag of vermiculite left, and so we mixed it all up, and now we got a stuff with just the scraps that was laying around. So that's another way you can look around when you're done, and you might be able to come up with some more space to add to your garden. So our next project is going to be water. My name's Max. If you like this video, please hit the like button. and share with your friends who are interested in building a raised bed garden. And if you've got any ideas as you're looking at my video of what you can do to help us out, I'll be glad to take your tips and advice. And if this has helped you, I'll be glad. And so please check back and watch for part 5 where we're going to do our hydration.